Alright, this video is for Shinra, who is a longtime viewer, a great commenter, and I would say a friend of the show. And when I did my PS2 Remembrances episode and my personal history episode on the PS2, he asked, or she asked, how do you play import games? And I figured I'd do a quick little description of how that works. Now, this is for the PlayStation 2 Slim, and this is the 9100 model, I think SCPH 9100, which is one of the easier models to mod, and it's a really, really simple mod. I incidentally have the PS2 taken apart here because I have had some issues with it. I had to repair it. I had to get a new laser, which is actually that one. New laser is not working all that well, and I'll say something about buying a PS2 laser in a little bit. The old laser works, but it doesn't read CD games, and it's getting a little slow. So that's why I've had to take it apart here. You need to have a PS2 Slim model, as far as I know, any model, to do this very simple mod. Maybe you can do it with a fat, but it's just a little bit more difficult. So on this model, basically what you're going to do to play import games, you have to defeat the mechanism that detects whether the system is open or not. And really what that is, so I don't know if we can see this here, but it is, sorry for the bad camera work, this little button. You've got to figure out a way to get that little button depressed. And then you put a boot disk in, and you just boot up your import game. While I have the system open, though, I'm going to do a little PSA. And that is, when you buy a PS2 laser, they're pretty cheap, they're 30, 40 bucks. Not every seller is going to tell you that you have to do a little soldering or desoldering, to be more specific. So I'm going to take this laser, and this is the... So you can see that here. If you see that little point, kind of looks like a football. That comes with solder on it, and actually as I look at it, maybe I didn't get as much solder off as possible, but it comes with like a little marble, well, little blob of solder that you have to just touch with a soldering iron to take off, otherwise it's not going to work. So obviously the one from the factory already has that in. There are some other issues with this cheap laser. For example, this blue band is actually installed incorrectly. I found out the blue side should be facing out. This one sort of faces in. You could say I had to twist the laser, and it just wasn't reading. So not every seller is going to tell you if you have to desolder or not. I had to buy a soldering iron. To do that, it wasn't particularly hard. Although the laser doesn't work, so maybe I screwed it up, but it was literally just kind of touching that bit. So I'll show you how to get the boot disk working in a bit. So before I close this up, it just occurred to me, I said this is the SPH 9001 model, but if you have the other PS2 Slims, not only do you have to defeat this mechanism, but I think there's a latch right here that the hood hits. So if you see this little, so I'll put this down here, you see this little point here, this latches onto something in the back, and you have to remove that on other models. But like I said, on this model, it's just a matter of figuring out a way to defeat this very, very flimsy little switch. All right, so now that it is reassembled, really the only thing you have to do is stick a piece of paper towel or napkin into this slot, and it will press down on that mechanism but still allow you to turn on the power, and that's going to allow you to swap disks. And I did this mod about a decade ago, and you know, that little piece of paper towel held for a decade until the system broke and I had to attempt to repair it. All right, as you can see, there is a little bit of napkin, And really that's all. And now when you power this up, you're going to be able to open and close the lid and swap things in and out. So we'll close that. And these are the discs that I've used, again, for a decade. I do not know exactly to what extent these are available now, but these are Swap Magic 3 coder version. It also came with the regular something or other. I don't know what this is. These discs never worked. These two in the package, you got 4 of them. These worked. So you fire up the PS2 with most likely the DVD disc in, and then you'll get to a menu, and it'll say, you know, you can do a couple, you can put cheat codes, stuff like that, but it'll say load boot disk, put the import disk in, or the burn disk, or however you want to do it, and you just hit run, and it runs. All right, so we are going to boot up this game, Faked Unlimited Codes. This is one of the games I talked about in my video. Very good game. You can see the system is on and running. Let us fire up the boot disk. So just take the boot disk, click it down, reset. So there's the boot disk, and just asking you to put a game disk in. So at this point, the disk is stopped. You remove it, the system thinks the lid is still closed because we've defeated the lid mechanism. Put the disk in, like so. And we just click normal and default. And that's basically it. I'm sure there's more sophisticated ways to do this. Perhaps now, you just load everything onto a hard drive. But, this is the way I've been doing it for a decade. And there you go. That is a simple mod to play import games.